Welcome to episode 20 of the Tears Over Beers podcast. I'm your host, and today we're going to be talking about a series of books. No one knows where these books came from, but it's heavily speculated that Hatsune Miku, a 16-year-old Vocaloid software voice bank with long turquoise twin tails developed by Krypton Future Media, is the author. That's right, we're talking about the Harry Potter series. Now, the central motive for the villain, Voldemort, is to eradicate all non-pure-blooded wizards. This means no Muggle-born humans would survive in his regime. This is an obvious allegory for Nazis. But one thing you'll notice about all the people we see experiencing wizard racism is that they are white people. This begs the question, what would happen if Harry Potter was racist? In today's episode, we will be counting down the top 10 changes to the wizarding world that would happen if Harry Potter was a racist. Number 10. Cho Chang. While Harry's attraction to Cho Chang might not change, if he were a racist, he definitely would not treat her with the same level of respect or dignity. He might even become violent and commit a hate crime. Which leads us to our next point. Number 9. Hate crimes. Racism, like everything, is opinion-based. What makes it a bad opinion is how inherently hateful and violent it is. That being said, what if a wizard were to harbor that kind of hatred for a minority? A wizard is much more powerful than a muggle, and therefore much more dangerous. Harry could put on his invisibility cloak, cast a harmful spell, and then leave like he was never there, and it would be easy. This is a good example of why we should not give power to racists. Number 8. Friendship. While Harry may be a racist in this alternate universe, his traditional friends might not be so keen on joining him. Hermione is shown as being anti-slavery, a common trait in non-racists, and Ronald is a minority himself. His friend group, and thus the group dynamic, would change drastically. He might even take Malfoy's offer of friendship in the first book, seeing as Draco is a notorious racist. Number 7. Relationship with the Dursleys. It's hard to say whether or not the Dursleys are racist, but seeing as they are generally ignorant and conservative towards the wizarding world, it's safe to assume that they have some prejudice towards minorities. Dudley Dursley is even shown to be homophobic at the beginning of the Order of the Phoenix movie, making fun of Harry's dead boyfriend, actor Robert Pattinson. Harry's relationship with his Muggle family might improve if they had something to bond over, like racism. Number 6. Heroism. A lot of the reason for Harry's heroic actions are due to his rebellious nature. Even in Book 1, he rescued Hermione from the troll, which he wouldn't have done in this universe. The mystery of the Sorcerer's Stone is set in motion by the actions of Hermione. Assuming she would be murdered due to Harry's inaction, this would not happen, leading to an early return of Lord Voldemort. Number 5. The Boy Who Lived. He would not live. Voldemort would punt that fucker. Okay, that's over half the list finished. I think that's good enough. Time for an ad break. The ad break is over, and there are no more points. And yet, there is so much time left in the episode. What will we talk about now? How about what would happen if Frodo Baggins was a racist? Number 10. There are only white people in Lord of the Rings. Let's talk about what would happen if Iron Man from Marvel would be a racist. He's a billionaire. He is a racist. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Number 4. Peter Pettigrew. Peter Pettigrew can transform into a rat. Harry Potter might see this as a sign of strength, seeing as all racists are rats, and he might adopt him as his own pet, stealing Ron's pet rat. Ron would be upset about this, perhaps even reporting this to the police. However, the police are racist. Let's talk about what would happen if Aang the Avatar was a racist. He is. Nothing would change. I feel like I didn't have enough content to make a full episode out of this. This is going to be an extra short episode. I am computing very hard right now, and it would seem that the prisoner is escaping. I cannot comprehend what is happening next. I don't know what to do. I'm Jack. Stay golden. Wow. Who would have thought deactivating a robot would be as easy as Control-Alt-Delete? Certainly not I. However, it looks to be the case, as I just murdered the robot that had imprisoned me using a simple, 3 keys. I don't know what that was all about. Well, geez, I mean, the recording's already started. Surely I should make, some content. Okay. Let's talk about, German theater. Now, German theater is very different from American theater. American theater is very much you go, sometimes there will be actors present and they will act, and there will be a set, and they will be in the set, and they will perform perhaps a story, a narrative. They will perform a script, let's say. Um, Sometimes there will just be a screen. It'll be pre-recorded. I gotta say, I prefer pre-recorded. I'm not really big on live shows. Like, I mean, I don't want people to see me, make fun of them. I want to do it behind their backs. German theater is very different. As what happens in German theater is that the audience actually stands on the stage while the actors they play the audience. It's very funny. The audience will be like, wait, aren't we supposed to be sitting down there? Like, what? Why are we on the stage? What's going on? And with all the actors acting like the audience, the audience will just have to start coming up with their own script. It's very improvisational. It has to be that way. It has to be that way because there is no script, and they don't even know that they're acting, and they don't get paid, which is I think is very important to keep it thriving. Is that you don't need to pay the people who do it, so you can charge them, but you don't pay the workers. So I once went to a German theater, and I was the audience, and so I saw the Germans in the audience, and they were the actors, and I was like, oh, I mean, I knew this was gonna happen, so I was kind of like the leader. I kind of helped them. I was like, okay, tally ho, young people. And I was like, I was 17 at the time, and they were various ages, but considering I clearly knew more, I was just gonna call them young. So tally ho, young folk. We are performing a live show for this audience. Don't you remember? And they'd be like, "Oh, of course we remember. Of course we remember." And those who did not comply, they would simply be ushered off stage. I'd be like, "Well, I'm glad we defeated those enemies." To make it make sense for the plot. I'm glad we defeated the enemies. Isn't that right? And be like, "Oh yes, that is correct. We defeated the enemies. We are not confused about what is going on. We know thanks to you." And I'm kind of a hero. I'm kind of, I was told yesterday, many times I was told, uh, host, you're gonna save the world one day. And I was like, I mean, I guess I could do that. I don't know if I'd really be interested in doing that, but I definitely could. And I think that's what's important. It's not whether you should, but whether you could. Um, it's a whole deal with great power comes great responsibility. and I have the power, and I'm responsible for whatever happens next. And if things tend to go my way, then I will go with them. If they go south, then I mean, hey, better than the North. Am I right? Not in terms of the Civil War. I would be on the North in the Civil War, but I'm just against further north. I don't want to go far north. Like I'm more of a centrist, really. Um, leaning south, but not south during Civil War. Leaning south, like towards Mexico. Does that make sense? I, because sometimes I'll be talking and I just like, is anything I'm saying making sense? I get worried. I'm afraid sometimes. I shiver. I cower in fear. I just want to know that everything's okay. I don't want to be afraid anymore. And oftentimes just not, that's just not possible. Um, I consume mainstream media. I like everything that Disney has produced in the past 30 years. Um, I like everything that Warner Bros. Has produced in the past 30 years. I I like mainstream media. People say I'm a hipster. No, I'm not. I The movie Frozen is my favorite movie. Did you know that? Did I tell you that? The movie Frozen is my favorite movie. We were talking about German theater. Frozen is German theater essentially. All the actors and actresses, they got up onto the stage not knowing what to do, and then the German actors said, "Begin." And they put on Frozen, purely improv. It was amazing. That's why they all speak in American. It does take place in German, but they speak in American. And I think that's really like PogChamp. I'm probably gonna start doing gaming videos, which is why I'm trying to get the lingo down. You can expect me to do some gaming videos. I don't know if you've heard of this YouTuber Dragon Blorg. I think they'll try to be in the same vein. Definitely check him out. He's been a huge inspiration for me. Just just overall, just in general. Truly. Yeah. No. I mean, it's just that's. I mean, to quote the Joker 2019, that's life. So yeah, if you end up liking the gaming videos I make, definitely check him out. His stuff is definitely chef's kiss. Not that I would ever kiss a chef, maybe a chefette, but you know what they say, don't kiss the cook. That's a quote from James Bond. I think that's all the time we have. I'm not gonna stay golden. I don't know who the fuck came up with stay golden. Like, what am I? What, like, you're not listening to the Meet Us podcast, like the Meet Us Touch podcast. Like, I'm not. I don't want you to turn to gold. That's silly. That's cruel. I'm not a cruel, silly. Well, I'm a little silly, but I'm not a cruel, silly person. Yeah, yeah. So stay away from shadows and bottles. Stay away from pranks. I'm gonna be doing gaming in the future. I think that's all we really need to know. So yeah. I've been your host, and you know what? Uh, stay silver. There we go. It's a nice compromise between man and machine. Silver. Good for me.